dogs, welcome back to What the Dog Doing. How are you? It's been a while. Anyways, we've got an episode jam-packed of exciting and interesting stories for you today. But before we get to that, let's talk about this lovely warm weather we've been having recently. I'm pretty sure 60 and above weather is not normal in February. But I won't lie, I've really been enjoying it. Nothing compares to sitting outside on a sunny day, reading a book, ignoring the piles of late midterm assignments I have. But listen, I'm no meteorologist. I leave the science to the smart people. Like Nicole. In the latest edition of The Dog Dish, Nicole tells us more about this weather from her expert perspective. After watching this episode, make sure to check it out on the DVS YouTube channel. Do you want better? You can click the bottom button on the bottom-ish left screen of your left of your screen. And it'll take you to the channel. It's that easy. So, with that out of the way, let's get into the episode. This week, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Lila Anderson, the director of the Anderson Gallery. Located on the first level of the Fine Arts Center, the gallery has a lot to offer and has some exciting events coming up. Let's take a look.
My name is Lila Anderson, and I'm the director of the Anderson Gallery. So the Solving Problems, our current show, is a faculty exhibition. So it's the art and design faculty that have their work on display. And when we were talking about, having that exhibition and sort of thematically, what they wanted to address in that show, this idea of how does one solve problems through artwork came up. And I think that the faculty, to me what was really interesting about it is the faculty approached that in a lot of different ways.
Sure.
Some of them thought about that as a way to discuss process and how when something comes up, you're wanting to make something and something maybe logistically is challenging or material is difficult, how do you get around that? How do you work through in process? Whereas some of them took it to be much more about, artwork as a way to work through external problems or things that, are issues in our world that they want to kind of address through artwork. So there's kind of a lot of different ways that people took that prompt, which makes the show exciting, I think. Professor Edward Kelly made a couple artworks that are more interactive, and those have definitely kind of seemed to engage students and trying to figure out kind of what they are, how to engage with them. I have a couple artworks in the show that I find that I keep coming back to and looking at, and it's always nice throughout the run of a show when you're with artworks for a long period of time, they sort of change, and there's different ones that kind of draw your attention. I suppose one that I've been thinking about is a book by Professor Jamie Hart. He's our new painting professor, and it's a collection of writings that he did over 6 years. And in the show, we just have it open to one page, and we ask that people not touch it just because it is a delicate book. But he gave me permission to move that page each day throughout the show so we could have different writings. And so I've been basically reading this book through the course of the show. So that has been kind of a fun experience to feel like I'm getting maybe a more close look at something than the average viewer. And my ultimate goals, as director of the gallery, is to let students know about the space and make sure they know it is a resource for them. I mean, I think as you sort of said in your question, the idea of the space is providing inspiration to those that are makers and creators and artists, but I also think introducing, people to new perspectives and different artists. I mean, I try and have a real range of different work that's on display. We have, shows of both local and national artists, as well as our students here and our faculty. So there's a lot of different perspectives that we try and show in this space, and I think that's one way that we can be a resource. And I do try and also work with certain classes directly and faculty to bring classes through, but it's my hope that students feel like it's their space and it's your gallery and it's somewhere that you can come to and be, and that it is a valuable resource in the Drake community. Yeah, so I guess I have two things that I'm particularly excited about that I wanted to share with you. One of them is not an exhibition, but a performance that's going to happen in the gallery. I'm collaborating with the music department to present a piece called 16 Pianos and Surround Sound. It was composed by a composer, Nathan Felix, specifically for this occasion, so it will be a world premiere of that piece. And again, it will be 16 pianos playing a piece all together. They'll be in the Anderson Gallery as well as the areas outside of the gallery. It's all played by Drake piano program students as well as a couple of our music faculty. So to me, that's a super exciting, it's a collaboration between our departments. We have this really avant-garde kind of new composition that we're able to share with the community, both at Drake and outside. So that's happening on March 20th and 21st at 7:30. We're going to do 2 performances of that. So that I'm very excited about. And then following that, we have our annual student juried exhibition. And that's always like a highlight for the Drake community, particularly just because it features a lot of different students and people can see their peers' artwork, and it's a really celebratory show.
For more information regarding future events or the Anderson Gallery as a whole, visit andersongallery.wp.drake.edu or email andersongallery@drake.edu to learn more. In other news, this semester's Sussman Lecture took place this past week on March 6th. Our DBS correspondent and news director, Emma, had the chance to chat with lecturer Dr. Jennifer Silva. Let's go to her to hear more about this event.
I'm Jennifer Silva. I'm a sociologist at Indiana University, and I was honored to be the speaker at the Sussman Lecture this year. I gave a talk called Pain and Politics in the Heart of America. I spoke about my research in rural America, talking to everyday people about how they understand politics and whether or not they vote, and all of the ways in which they connect their personal experiences up to the political world. I called the book We're Still Here because there's often this sense of rural Americans being left behind or forgotten about, and often the sense that people have given up or they don't have a voice. We're Still Here is like, hey, listen to us. Like, we do have things to say, and we do have opinions, and we can talk about our lives in a meaningful way. I had already written a book about young adults and their struggles to come of age in America. And so I talked to a lot of young adults, and they told me that they were pretty distrustful of institutions. Many of them were sort of giving up on this idea of an American dream, of opportunity. And when I wrote the book, I looked back and I thought, why didn't I ask them about politics? This was really dumb. Like, I really should have asked them about politics. And it kind of haunted me. And so then the opportunity came to go into this, struggling town with people who are kind of vulnerable to economic changes, and to finally talk to them about their politics. Growing up, being a first-generation college graduate, just being aware of hierarchies and power and privilege. And I think sociology gave me a language that allowed me to talk about that or see my own life as connected to these larger structures. I had a really great visit at Drake. The people were so engaging and invigorating.
Before we go to future events, let's hear a quick word from our friends at Students for Reproductive Justice.
Hello, we are Drake Students for Reproductive Justice, an organization working right here on Drake's campus.
We do a lot more than just passing out free condoms from our collective. We also have access to Plan B and Julie at the Drake campus disposal.
Contrary to popular belief, or maybe just contrary to disinformation, Plan B and Julie are not used to end a pregnancy.
If you are interested in receiving this critical and FDA-approved product, just message the Drake Students for Reproductive Justice Instagram account at Drake_SRJ and we will get it to you discreetly and at no cost.
At SRJ, we understand the financial hurdles impacting students today and want to help lighten the load by providing free access to Plan B and Julie.
Remember that abortion is still legal in Iowa, and you are able to obtain an abortion at any of these locations.
SRJ advocates for Iowans' rights to safe and legal abortion and emergency contraception. Contact me at my email to join the justice.
On March 22nd, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion will be holding a mental health panel in Parents Hall South in Olmsted. The panel focuses on, quote, disrupting the harmful narratives given to marginalized communities, and an open discussion on ways to enhance the worth and belonging in the face of social injustice. The event is funded by the Slave Fund for Social Justice and will take place at 7 p.m. For more information, visit the on-campus website. Recently, 2 new Griffterns were hired. Our current Griftern, Nate Eisenman, will remain in his position until he graduates in May. In an interview, he talked more about this transition and what his 2 years as a Griftern has been like. We also got the chance to speak with the 2 new Griftterns, Kate and Lainey. Let's turn it over to them.
Hi, my name is Nate Eisenman. I'm a senior here at Drake, originally from Minnesota. I'm studying journalism and biochemistry, and I am the current Griftern, which is Griff's intern with the Live Mascot program. The duties of a Griftern are to serve as an extra set of eyes and hands for Griff 2. So that involves walking him across campus or transporting him to and from the NAP Center to games alongside the program director, Aaron Bell. And then also there's a lot of social media content creation involved, so filming videos for TikToks and Instagram Reels and gathering content for Instagram and Facebook and the other social media platforms. I have now been the Griftern for a little over 2 years, and I've done it every semester I've been here, and it's been a lot of fun. I think that some of the really cool opportunities while being the Griftern have been meeting people from all kinds of different areas and places that I wouldn't have met otherwise. 2 years ago at the Missouri Valley Conference tournament in St. Louis, I got to meet Sister Jean from Loyola Chicago. I've gotten to meet the speakers for the Sussman Lectures, as well as meeting Anderson Cooper a couple of months ago during the CNN Republican debate. And then also about 1.5 years ago, I did get to meet Kamala Harris's husband here in the NAP Center and play basketball with him. So that was pretty fun. So the applications for the incoming Griftterns opened at the end of January or beginning of February of this year. I selected 2 that I really recommended to Aaron. And so then together we interviewed both of them and ultimately hired both of them. The decision to have 2 Griftterns instead of just 1 was mostly because by having 2, it's going to be twice as likely that a Griftern will be able to help out at events. Lainey and Kate both exhibited some really good qualities that made them stand out in my mind and Aaron's mind as being really good future Griftterns. I think that they're both involved on campus, but not overly involved, so they're still going to have time to give to the program and support Griff. They had good experiences at Drake, and they're just really passionate, and so that's something we were looking for. Before I graduate, the advice that I'm giving to Lainey and Kate, the new Griftterns, is to just say yes to as much as you can when it works with your schedule. I think a lot of the events that I wasn't so sure about or didn't think would end up to be very exciting ended up being super fun. Being the Griftern really allowed me to, I think, leave an impact on Drake, as well as it leaving an impact on me. I think it's been so special to get to know so many people and be known on campus and be able to contribute to Drake in just the positive ways that Griff contributes to Drake. And it's been so special to be a part of that. I think that the thing I'll miss most about being the Griftern is, besides just getting to hang out with Griff almost every day, is the program director, Aaron Bell. I think she and I have such a good friendship and a working relationship here at Drake. She's always been super supportive of me. I'm really gonna miss her and the ways that she has kind of impacted my life. And so that's gonna be a really hard thing after I graduate.
Hi, I'm Lainey.
And I'm Kate, and we're the new Griftterns.
I always say that this job was kind of like fate for me because Griff visited my house with Nate and with Aaron a little over a year ago when I was a senior in high school, and I'd just decided to come to Drake. And my mom said something to me after they left and was like, you should do what that guy does. When I got on campus, I started learning more about what a Griftern actually was. And then they posted something on Instagram and I was like, okay, I have to apply. This is my dream job.
I saw the post on Griff's Instagram and I immediately wanted to do it. I'm a huge Griff fan, and during my first year of college, I was always looking for Griff on campus. I was trying to find where he was for Fridays with Griff. I'm really excited to work with Griff and go to a bunch of events, whether it's on campus or off campus, and just connecting with the Drake community and Drake neighborhood as a whole.
I did social media stuff throughout high school. The activities that I was a part of, all our clubs and all our sports teams had Instagrams, and I kind of just got given the role of doing it. And then when I got on campus to Drake, I started doing content creation for Drake Mag, which is kind of how I got more into like doing like, I guess, interview style things and like CapCut and editing it together like to work with a certain brand.
So I took more of an alternative route. Most of the Griffterns are journalism majors, and I'm a zoo and conservation science major. From that, I have a ton of animal care experience. I've worked at dog kennels. I have a huge love for dogs. I do have some social media experience. I do run a couple Instagram accounts for organizations on campus. If you're nervous to apply for something, it's better to give it a chance and try and get rejected than to have the regret of not doing it, because applying to something can open so many doors.
Just go for it, because it doesn't hurt to try. Like for me, I like really didn't think I was gonna get it, because I was like, well, and when I first saw the application, I was like, well, I'm a first year. Like, I feel like they'll probably want someone with like more experience on campus. And then like they said that they wanted like, either like a first year or like a second year. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it's worth a shot. And I was like, I just thought that I would regret it if I didn't do it. And, it led to this. So like, just like try and like put your all into it, and like something awesome could happen. Trying to like make him more of a like public figure outside of Drake is like our thing. And I think what Aaron's also like trying to do, like making him like Des Moines' dog and not just Drake's dog. Trying to like make him like go to those programs that like maybe aren't just athletics and stuff, and like that's like our thing, like making sure like he shows up for other people on campus too, because like he's like everyone's dog and not just like athletics or like one group or another's.
Maybe some opportunities for fundraising to help support the local communities as well would be really cool.
We're on Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms at DrakeUGriff.
Go give us a follow.
Before we say goodbye, let's go to Emma for a wrap-up of what's going on campus.
Happy Monday, dogs. I'm Emma, here to tell you everything happening in the next 4 days. Let's get to it. Tomorrow, our men's golf team will compete at the GCU Invitational in Phoenix, Arizona. Meanwhile, the men's tennis team will travel to Norman, Oklahoma. Lastly, the rowing team will verse Stetson in DeLand, Florida. On Wednesday, March 13th, the men's tennis team will stay in Oklahoma and face Southeastern Oklahoma State at 1 p.m. in Durant. Here at home, drawings will take place for the 45th annual Beautiful Bulldog Contest. Held on Pomerantz Stage at 4 p.m., 30 Bulldogs and 10 alternates will be selected. The women's basketball team will compete in the Missouri Valley Conference from Thursday, March 14th to Saturday, March 17th. This will be held in Moline, Illinois. The men's tennis team surely has a busy week. On Friday, March 15th, they will travel to Arlington, Texas to compete against UT Arlington. Meanwhile, in Carbondale, Illinois, the softball team will verse Southern Illinois at 5 p.m. Now, let's dive into some recent announcements. On Friday, March 1st, Provost Sue Madison announced departmental cuts recommended for discontinuation in an email to the student body. These cuts consist of several undergraduate majors, including religion, rhetoric, anthropology, healthcare administration, astronomy, sociology, and physics. Undergraduate minors, including religion, rhetoric, anthropology, and East Asian studies. Graduate majors, including Master of Accountancy and Master of Public Administration, and the Graduate Certificate of Evidence-Based Healthcare. These recommendations were made due to a decrease in the university's budget and will be voted on by the Faculty Senate on April 17th. To aid those who will be impacted by this, the university will be providing graduation plans to students to ensure they still meet their expected graduation dates. We here at DBS extend our best wishes to those students in their search for a new study, and for the professors of these fields as they navigate through this difficult time. In response to this news, a group of students formed an Instagram account named Save the Drake Departments. They will be posting updates and plans for keeping these departments at the university, including an upcoming protest. Similarly, students have joined against the university's plan to close Jewett, an upperclassmen residence hall. While we're not sure how strongly this group feels, as many of their Instagram posts on save_Jewett have been satire and memes, stay on the lookout for plans from them. Want to study abroad at a Victorian manor in England? The university is currently accepting applications to study in Harlexton for the upcoming fall semester. Students can apply through Teradata up until Friday, March 15th. Drake has made some changes to the December commencement ceremony. Starting in December of 2025, there will no longer be a separate commencement ceremony for those graduating in the fall semester. Are you a rock star at PR? Then apply for the PRSA Iowa Chapter Scholarships by March 15th. To find out more, check out the Drake SJMC Monday memo sent out on March 4th. That's all for now. To keep up on Drake news, check out the on-campus and the SJMC Monday memo emails in your inbox, listen to In Case You Missed It on Spotify, and read the Times-Delphic. I hope you all enjoy your spring break. Classes will resume on Monday, March 18th. This has been Emma reporting for What the Dog Doin'.
Well, that's all we've got for you, folks. It is 8 p.m. and we are still in Meredith. So, if I may, me and my diet... I finished it. Anyways, I'm going to take a hike all the way back to my house. Tune into the next episode of What the Dog Doing on April 1st. We'll see you soon.